We saw the Bills and the Broncos dump a lot of salary. They had to cut some players to free up money. How do Andrew Berry and the Browns avoid having to do a similar thing? Is it something that they have planned and you kind of see the footprint and there isn't one of these big things in the offing relative to the Browns' salaries?
They keep enjoying the bank of Jimmy Haslam, and that is the key thing. Lots of people might not like Jimmy Haslam, but the one thing you can say about Jimmy Haslam, he has given a ridiculous sum of money to this team in the last few years. They have outspending league average by $50 million a year. When we're talking about that being, there's right around the top at $300 million. So $50 million a year when you talk about NFL numbers seems small, but if we're talking the middle's $250 million, they're at the top of it at 300 million roughly. That is a significant chunk of change. And Jimmy Haslam is throwing money at Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry's having to be smart and managing this. And it's why they won't go out and do anything stupid this year, because then this model that is 100% sustainable gets really dangerous. Whereas if they go out and spend 41 million this year, they can go out and blow 150 million maybe in a year's time. That stays sustainable. But Jimmy Haslam is the number one reason why this can happen, because there's lots of smart GMs around the league that could do what Andrew Berry does. Having an owner that's actually going to go, I'll give you 50 million more than league average, that's rare.
And so, again, Browns are spending significantly more than the league average, and that's what's allowing them to sustain what they are doing relative to the contracts.
Very few teams in the league cross 10 players that are earning 10 plus million a year. It wouldn't surprise me if the Browns are at 15 this year. So that is the insane level of how it is. There's lots of teams that won't get to double digits. The Browns might be at 14, 15. So thank you, Jimmy Haslam. Keep spending the money. We're relying on a little bit of luck, because that's what got you to the playoffs. If we had a league average roster last year and you stripped 50 million worth of investment out of it, we're nowhere near the playoffs. We're probably nearer the first overall pick, and then we wouldn't have had it. It'd have been a disaster, but we'd have been picking in the top 10. The amount of money that Jimmy is throwing at this is what is allowing it to become a success. Andrew Berry's great. Andrew Berry isn't the same GM without that massive additional payroll.